Hello, my wondrous followers. Your glorious tyrant, the Tyrannical Cuber here, and we're going to talk about Roux. This is another advanced method, and I recommend watching my video introduction to CFOP, another advanced method, which is the most popular advanced method, down in the description below. Because this video is there's gonna be a lot of comparison between this and CFOP, and if you don't know what CFOP is, then you're not gonna understand this. So, Roux was named after its creator. Pretty sure his first name was like Giles or something like that. Last name was Roux, hence the name. Really should do some research into this, but oh well. So the steps of Roux are a lot different. So the first step would be the first block, which is a 2 by 3 by 1 block on the left side of the cube. And also, just a note, this isn't like a tutorial or anything, so I do not expect anyone to understand what I'm doing. So this I would do first block a bit like this. And then, no, I haven't practiced Roux too much, so I'm probably not the best Rouxer in the world. And then the next step is second block. So you basically make this block another one of these 1 by 2 by 3 blocks on the right side of the cube. And you do that something like this. So you have your second block. Next step is solving the corners. It is known as CMLL. I have no idea what the M stands for, but I'm pretty sure that C stands for corners and LL is last letter. And I do not know full CMLL, so just gonna look that. Next step is LSE, which stands for last 6 edges. So this, and these 2 edges. And this is divided into 3 sub-step kind of things. So the first sub-step is EO, which stands for edge orientation. So you would orient all the edges. In other words, either white or yellow is facing up or down. Next step is UL-UR. So UL is upper left, UR is upper right. So it's solving the upper left and upper right edges. And the last step, we just call it 4C. It's most of the time it's going to be a 3-edge cycle, like that. And now I'm just going to be explaining why I don't use Roux anymore, and why I used to use Roux, and the pros and cons of it, and what parts of it are better and worse than CFOP. And also you get to see what Roux solves look like. Note, these solves are not going to be as good as the ones in my CFOP video, which is down in the description below, like I said earlier. Not because Roux is not as good as CFOP, of course, but because I haven't practiced Roux in months, while CFOP is my main method, which means I practice it like daily or something close to daily. So, yeah. Okay, just like in my CFOP video, let's start with the pros of Roux. The first big pro is that it's really efficient. I'm pretty sure the CFOP average move count is like 60 moves, while the Roux average move count is like 48 moves. That's a 12 move difference, and that is a lot. like the highest TPS that you're possibly gonna get, like highest average TPS is like 10 TPS, 10 turns per second. So if you're turning at the same speed for Roux and CFOP, then there would be like 1 second difference. Which is why most Rouers probably don't turn as fast as CFOPers, which is why the world record is not set in Roux. Which I guess is a con, but still. There's an explanation for this. 1, it's really hard, like, for CFOP, every single world record has been set with a PLL skip, which is skipping the last step, because when you solve the second to last step, it's already solved. With Roux, an LSE skip is extremely rare. Out of the hundreds of solves I've done with Roux, I've gotten none of them. No LSE skips. While with CFOP, I've gotten like at least like 10 PLL skips. So yeah, that's one reason. Another reason is that not very many people use Roux. And if you look at the ratio of the number of people who use Roux versus the number of people in like the top 100 in the world, the ratio for Roux is higher, meaning that out of the people who use Roux, more people are in the top 100 in the world. I think. I saw this somewhere, and I'm too lazy to dig up the source. So you're just going to have to trust me. Also, since Roux is a lot more efficient than CFOP, you don't really have to turn as much, obviously. And also, it's a lot more intuitive. Like, with first block, you saw how you can see how much inspection time I'm using up right now, and honestly, most of these solves would probably be DNFs because of inspection, but I wanted to show like what an actual Roux solve would look like, so I'm taking more inspection than I would say at a comp if I were using Roux. And it's a lot of inspection, mostly because first block is really intuitive. It's much harder than cross for CFOP. So naturally, it'd take up more inspection time. Also, it's not that much less move efficient than cross. Like, first block can be solved in 10 moves or less. Cross can be solved in 8 moves or less. 2 moves, that's a difference, but not that much of a difference. But the average first block move count is probably higher than the average cross move count. Actually, it definitely is, and the difference is probably more than 2. That's besides the point, but because with the second block, you just need to solve an edge and two F2L pairs. I know they're not F2L pairs because you don't solve them like F2L pairs, but still. With CFOP, you still have 4 F2L pairs. And with Roux, the 2 pairs that you have to do will be more efficient than in CFOP because you have the M slice open. And that opens up a lot of possibilities. Like, you can create a pair in 3 moves in maybe what would take at least 4 moves with CFOP. And also, another big pro for Roux is that you don't have to do cube rotations. Like, you don't have to rotate the entire cube to get, like, a better angle or something. And that may not seem like a big difference, but it is. A cube rotation takes at least as much time as 1 turn. In CFOP, you might do, I'm just going to estimate like 5 rotations per solve. That's probably a big number, too big a number, maybe 4 rotations per solve, on average. Okay, actually, you know what, let's stick with 5. So that's automatically a 5 move difference that isn't even a part of the 48 versus 60. And also, Roux
has a lot less algorithms. Like with CFOP, there's OLL, which is 52 algorithms, and PLL, which is 21 algorithms, and that's like 70 algorithms. CMLL is 48 algorithms. I know that's a lot, but there's two look CMLL for beginners. But that's still not as much as OLL. 4 algs less. But let's just say it is the same as OLL. With LSE, there really aren't that many algorithms. There are literally like 5 algorithms and to solve all the cases, and the difference is just that like for each case you use a combination of different algorithms for each like EO case, and don't be alarmed. This doesn't mean that EO takes like 80 moves. Because each of the algs are like 3 moves. So yeah. And so LSE takes like 5 algs, meaning that in total it takes like 55 algs versus 70. And also for CFOP, if you really want to be really good, you're probably going to have to learn some more stuff like COLL. That's another 42 algs. But you're probably not going to learn soon for COLL, so I'm pretty sure that's minus 12, so like 30 algs. ZBLL, that's like 500 algs. Of course, no one knows all full ZBLL because most people don't learn soon. I don't expect any of you to know what soon is, but still, that takes off like I don't know how many algorithms. I'm not going to bother to do that math in my head right now. But it takes off some algorithms. And there's also VLS, which is like, I don't know, like another like 300 algs or something. And then there's winter variation, that's like 20 algs. And magic wonderful, I have no idea how many algs that is. But there are a lot of alg sets for CFOP, and there is a reason why there are that many alg sets. Because CFOP needs that many alg sets for you to be like world class. Not because some guy just decided, hey, you know what? It'd be fun if I just spent my time making all of these algs so that people cannot learn them because it won't make much of a difference. No one does that. People made the algs to make CFOP better because it needs to be better to be world class. While Roux, once you learn full CMLL, that's pretty much it. You might learn some like edge orientation stuff during CMLL, but you're not going to learn too much of that. Well, you can, but it wouldn't be practical because there's this thing called EOLR, which is while you're solving EO, you're also solving the ULUR edges. And that, it's not really algorithms. I barely know any of it. Like, I don't know, like a few cases. I don't even know how many cases I know because of how intuitive it is. It may sound like there are algs, but there are, but there aren't at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain, but, well, moving on. Now, what are the cons of Roux? Well, one, there aren't that many resources. Like, mostly because it's not as popular as CFOP. Actually, not mostly, it's all because it's not as popular as CFOP. Like, if you go search up Roux on anything, and if you search up CFOP on anything, the CFOP results are gonna be like 100 times as many as the Roux results. Meaning that Roux would probably be more tedious to learn in terms of information searching. And I guess it would also be more tedious to learn in terms of like difficulty. Because as you could see from the beginning, like with first block, second block, it is extremely different from beginner's method. Like, it doesn't even bother with the first 2 layers. It's just first block, second block, and then some weird, and then corners, and then some weird edge stuff. So it's gonna be harder to learn than CFOP, but ultimately, in my opinion, it is better for 3x3. Mostly because of the efficiency. and the TPS, the turns per second, won't decrease that much. People say the M moves, where you just turn like the middle layer, and LSE is slow, but it's really not. You're just doing M and U moves. You're not doing any like MUR or anything which would require a regrip. No, you're just doing MU. It's not slow. So anyone who makes that argument is an idiot. Also, another con, Roux is like impossible. It's impossible to use a variation of Roux for 5x5 and up. For 4x4, you can probably manage. But 5x5 and up, no, it's impossible. It's possible, but it'll be a pain. If you ever see anyone try to use Roux on 5x5, in the final step, LSE, it's gonna be a complete disaster. Like, you're gonna see them, like, have to do an M move, but the M move isn't really, like, complete, and then they'll have to, like, correct it, and it's just a disaster. For 6x6, it's just impossible. 5x5, it's possible, but you really just don't want to do it. For 6x6, it's just impossible. It's like the difference between eating a snail and a boulder. For 5x5, it's like eating the snail. You don't really want to do it, but you can. Using Roux on 6x6 is like eating the boulder. You just can't. It's impossible. You can't even fit it in your mouth. Also, one last thing for Roux. This is a pro, but I'm just thinking about it now, so I'm putting it over here. Is that it's the best method for one-handed solving. Mostly because it's really efficient, and after the first block, you don't have to do any moves that involve the left side, which is an advantage in one-handed solving because most people use their left hand for one-handed solving. I'm not going to elaborate on why. I'll do that in another video because it's dragging on long enough. And if you want to turn the left face in one-handed solving, then you have to rotate the cube, which is a really bad thing to do. Well, not really a really bad thing to do, but like, so it takes time in one-handed solving, much more than two-handed solving. And also, like I said before, Roux doesn't, there are no rotations in Roux, if you do it right. So, the only rotations there are going to be is in the beginning, when you have to do moves on the left face. And after that, unless your CMLL algorithm has a move in the left face, which it rarely is going to have, no more L face moves, no more rotations. It's going to be really pretty easy until you reach LSE, where you have to do M moves, and I guess second block too, and first block too, but still. And people say that it's really slow, and honestly, it is slower than other moves, but it's not as slow as they think, because in one-handed, you are allowed to use the table. Like, you can slam the cube on the table to do M moves, like, use the table as support for the right side, while your fingers are support for the left side, and then you can do M moves like that. And it is definitely slower than if you were using R and U moves, but, well, it's not as slow as people think, which makes Roux the best method for one-handed. And I will leave you with that information. I hope you make an informed decision on which advanced method you use, and I hope that there will be more Roux solvers out there, because it's a great method, and there is a big lack of Roux solvers, which is why the world record average, not single, isn't in Roux. I believe that if someone good enough, like if Felix Zemdegs, started out using Roux instead of CFOP, like if he switches now, it'll be too late. But if he started out using Roux, the world record average would be lower. And by lower, I mean like less time, not lower as in worse. And that concludes this glorious video on Roux. Make the best choice for you. Just because I use CFOP right now doesn't mean you have to use CFOP. Roux is a great method for 3x3, and personally I think it's better than CFOP for 3x3. And goodbye.